Biscuits and gravy. I'm sure if you're American, it brings up thoughts of old world cooking, comforting home-style meals, the sort of things Grandma might rustle up when you're under the weather or when it's subarctic outside. But when we hear the term here in merry old England, we literally think of this. So I'm going to try and bridge this gap. It's actually not bad. Alright, let's get this out of the way first and foremost. Since I've never ever set a foot inside America, I am of course qualified to tell people how to make these. Bit of plain flour, little puddle of salt, pinch of baking soda, lazy mix. There we go. Now in with weight of butter, cubed and importantly here cold. Just blitz these together. You're looking for that breadcrumby state that precedes most forms of pastry. Dump all of this into a bowl, then in with a 1/4 litre of buttermilk. Stir it. It should come together in a pretty shaggy dough. Yeah, that'll do. Knead that together a bit. You guys feel free to use both hands if you want to. There we go. Now, I'm not sure how big these are meant to be, so I'm going to assume they're supposed to be biscuit sized. This will make quite a few, so let's 1/4 this. Roll it out, I guess to biscuit thickness. There we go, that's around about how thick I'd roll a biscuit. Get some little squares, lovely. Now, baking sheet. Greaseproof paper. And just brush these over with some melted butter. Sprinkle with some sea salt. Gotta be honest, out of focus or not, these look pretty promising to me. Whack these into an oven and out comes... that's unfortunate. Pastry bit looks okay, salty topping looks wonderful, but they're just dry and depressing. Oh, hang on, I know what to do. There you go, butter solves everything. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it looks alright. Not sure what genus this comes under though. Somewhere between rough puff pastry and a scone. Oh no, there's an idea. Taxonomic classification for baked goods. That may be a bigger project than one video though. Back burner for now. I really don't think these are meant to be this thin. I may have fucked up. What does it taste like? Ooh, right, yeah, okay, I get it. That is incredible. It's buttery, it's salty, sort of flaky, but not too dry. I get it, I get the hype. We need these over here. I'm gonna have this bit too. Ooh, wait, no, better idea. What if I stick some more butter in here first? Difficult to spread. Yeah, that's gorgeous. But delicious this may be, biscuit it is not. This is a mutant scone. Right, so what about this white gravy thing? We don't really have that over here either, but from what I can work out, this starts off with some sausages. I've got some Lincolnshire pork sausages here. Just get the meat out of these. Super easy process, barely an inconvenience. Just squeeze from the top and work your way down like meaty toothpaste. Into a hot pan with some oil and get this browned. Break up any larger pieces as you go. There we go, leave that to do its thing. As it cooks, it should release a bit more fat, which will be important when we come to thicken this. Yeah, look at that little pool of pig juice. Could do with a bit more, actually. It was that butter. There we go. Now when that's melted, I'm going to go in with our thickening agent of choice. Now, usually in these sorts of sauces, you'd use plain flour. You'd make a roux, cook it out in the butter, and then you'd pour in your milk. But honestly, I fucking hate bechamel-based sauces. They just taste gluey and gummy and terrible. So if I've got any chance of liking this whatsoever, and I want to give it the best possible chance of me liking this, I'm going to use what I normally use to thicken sauces, xanthan gum. Doesn't take a lot. Now start adding in some whole milk. Let that simmer and get to know each other until, yeah, I guess that's about it. Bit of salt. Bit of black pepper, and there you go, sausage milkshake. Let's try some of this. This is another one of them things that doesn't really exist here. Gravy with lumps of meat in it. Unless you know, shepherd's pie or something like that, but that's more meat with gravy in it. Onion gravy, I suppose, is the closest we've got, but that's... well, there's onion. Anyway, let's get it served. There you go, pretentious little boat thing. First time I've ever tried this. I don't know if it's meant to be dunked or poured, but cleanup's going to be a fucking bitch if I pour it. There you go, bit of biscuit, gravy, bit of sausage. Let's see what this is like. Yeah, alright. You Yanks might be onto something with this, I'll admit. Cold wintry day, you fancy something comforting. I get it, I absolutely get this. We need this here. Right, now let me show you how we make gravy on our side of the pond. Nation's favourite. Just peel back the film, 2 tablespoons of this crap into a jug. Now mix in enough boiling water to make a thick paste at first. There we go. Now make this up to half a pint. Stirring constantly, and of course I am just fucking with you. This does have its place though, believe it or not. You just need to add 2 more fundamentally British things. Here's the first Houses of Parliament sauce. That is what it stands for, Google it. Generous squeeze of this. Now, pie and chips. Comes in paper, there you go. Food that built a nation. Nothing triple cooked, no King Edward, Albert, Russet, pommes frites, whatever. This just good old soggy, vinegar-laden chips. Drown this in gravy, and there you go. Fucking delish. Okay, seriously, now start this off with some onions, peeled and sliced. Bulb of garlic, cut that in half. Yeah, that second half kind of exploded. A few chunks of celery. We're basically making a vegetable trivet for this side of beef. Oh yeah, all that, it was going into a roasting tin. That's backwards, isn't it? Hang on. There you go. Now this is going to go into an oven until it's about 150-ish all the way around for a slightly butchered medium. I know it seems like overkill to do a full-on beef roast for when the main point of the episode is gravy, but there are important components that this will provide. Anyway, cow goes in, beef comes out. If I can get any purchase on the rack. Now, as delicious as this slab of protein is, the real gold in here is just underneath it. Look at all that lovely moisture. We'll come back to that. First of all, get a few of these roasted garlic cloves and use the flat end of a knife to mush these into a paste. When you get a little bit of momentum going, add some salt. It's going to season it. It's going to do some salty magic to the proteins with some I don't know. And it'll act as an abrasive, so the paste will come out of there a little bit smoother. Bit of beef fat into a pan. Add that garlicky paste. Fry it off until it gets fragrant. And then in with a bit more xanthan. Stirry stir, and then in with about half a pint of beef stock. Just a little bit at first, just to get the ball rolling. Get that onion juice in, and then the rest of the stock. Now we're just going to let that simmer away nicely until it thickens. Okay, I overdid it. Deliberately, obviously, just so I can demonstrate that if you ever find yourself in this situation, you can save yourself by just letting it down with a little bit of ale. Yeah, that looks a bit more fluid. Don't worry about the head, that's going to go. Seasoning, and the main reason I went to the trouble of roasting a beef joint, all of them delicious beefy resting juices. You know, I'm just going to put in a few grams of diced gold butter into this too, just because I hate myself that much. Now, if we were to dunk something in this, I don't think there are many people who would disagree that Yorkshire puddings are the way to go, so let's go on to that. Plain flour, 2 eggs, whisk them together. Now start pouring in milk. It's basically savoury pancake batter. There you go, lovely. Now leave this to rest a little while we prep the pan. Beef dripping, you could use vegetable fat if you want to, but I've got beef dripping to hand, so in it goes. Yorkshire pudding pan, you could use a muffin tin if you want to, but I've got a Yorkshire pudding tin to hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Then this goes into a scorchingly hot oven just to get the oil as hot as you possibly can. There it goes. I'm not going to fuck with the camera too much here because this is hot. Basically, it's simultaneously roasting and deep frying. Pour the batter in. There you go. You can see how violent that is. Then these go into the oven for about 25 minutes. Just make sure you keep the door shut or the dish is just going to fail spectacularly. There you go. Crispy on the outside and fluffy within. Let's get some gravy on this. Now that's good, that's good. Ooh, since we're here and we've got all the parts in, let's knock something up with this. Few thin slices of that roast beef. Pile that up into the pudding. Bit of gravy, bit of peppery rocket. A few dollops of horseradish scattered around. Whoop, he's gonna deal with that. Yeah, that'll do. Pour a bit more gravy over that. It's basically salad dressing, isn't it? Yep, and a little beef stuffed Yorkie. Cut into this, and yeah, I admit it looks like a pile, but give it a go. In fact, let's dunk this as well. Ooh, I know what to do. Let's dunk one of these things into this. That's good. Really, that does go well together. Ooh, what about dipping some Yorkshire pudding into the sausage gravy? You know what, there is no bad combination here. But, the thumbnail said that this is an episode about biscuits and gravy, and it's not as bad as you think, but I don't think this is the best we could possibly hope for. Biscuits go well with milk, so maybe the sausage one will fare better. No, it did not. Double check. No, but I think I've worked this out. A plan is starting to form. Onion gravy, that's another British staple and arguably the main reason for eating bangers and mash. That's made with caramelized onion, so the sweetness is there. I think that's the base I need to work with. Bit of butter, get these caramelized. There we go. Mince in about half a clove of garlic. Really don't want to overdo it with this. Not enough to make it savoury, just enough to give it a little bit of body. Whittle that in. Thickener, butter, xanthan. Seriously, I use this stuff to thicken everything. I don't know why there aren't more people championing it. Tell you what, share this video with your foodie friends. It's a great little tip that really improves your sauces with no extra effort at all. I might do it its own video at some point. Now, I want to take some inspiration from that really fucking amazing American white gravy, so this is going to be a milk-based rather than a stock-based sauce. Plus, biscuits go better with milk than stock. Little bit by bit. Get this reduced down until it's, there we go. Seasoning, pepper. Dried sage, onion's best friend. Stir. Now the thing that I think is going to bring this home is vanilla paste. It's going to give it just that cream soda flavour that's just going to bridge the gap to dessert, but there's no sugar in it aside from what was naturally present in the onions. Still a completely savoury dish, still gravy, but it's got vanilla in it. Let's give this a go. Okay, that is interesting. It's a bit weird tasting vanilla in this context, but once you're over that hurdle, it is really good. Bit of pan roasted white fish, maybe would be good with this. Bangers and mash, yeah, could see that working too. Chicken. But yeah, that's not what we're testing here. Start off with one of these. Creamy, that goes well with the butter and the salt, nothing unpleasant about that. Yorkshire pudding. I mean, sage and onion with a Yorkie, that's going to work already, you've had that before. I know one's meant to be for chicken and one's meant to be for beef. Let's be honest, we all have both when we can. Double dip again, because I'm the only one eating it. Fuck it. Okay, here we go. Biscuits and gravy. Chocolate digestive onion gravy. Is it a hit? Abso-fucking-lutely. Get some more of that onion on this. Ooh, hang on, let's go for gold. Yorkshire, where's that? Aha, there we go. Take that. That is what you can accomplish when nations work together. Take from that what you will. So yeah, biscuits and gravy. It works with a bit of forethought. And that American breakfast dish of the same name, I cannot get over how good that tasted. That's going into my meal plans. I feel cheated that it's not more common over here. Anyway, this episode's gone on long enough as it is, so you know I'm going to wrap this up now. Drop us a comment if you like the video if you want to, yada yada yada, you know how that goes. Thanks all of you for watching, and until next time, get forked.